Hey everybody, welcome back to the Armed Scotsman. Today on the table we have the PSA Micro Dagger. Let's get this one going. Alright everybody, as I said, this is the PSA Micro Dagger, and at the time of posting this video, it's very elusive to come a hold of a complete pistol like this. I managed to snag this on Christmas Day. It did not stay in stock for long at all. They definitely are not, I mean, as time goes on, you'll see these coming more and more in stock. I'm assuming once PSA gets whatever supply chain issue figured out with their frames, but we do have a complete one here to go over with you guys. I do purchase these guns myself. People always ask me, I did purchase this. I did use my own hard-earned cash. I was not sent it. Anyway, all right, let's change the camera angle around, check out this gun, and go over its features and how it shoots. All right, let's take a nice close look up at this gun. We're going to start at the bottom. First of all, you're going to notice these little notches on either side of the frame right here. That is designed so if you have any problems with the mag sticking for any reason, that you can get your thumb and your index finger on the other side or whatever, get your fingers in there and yank that magazine out. But that is what that is for. It does come with a, this for me is a game changer, right? Let's just start off with that. This is a game changer for me for this particular gun and the 43X in particular, because obviously this is a clone of a 43X, a Glock 43X. So this is a 15 round stainless steel mag. And you'll notice here it has a polymer sleeve on here. Now, the reason he did that is because if it was metal on a plastic, or on a polymer, I shouldn't say plastic, on a polymer mag release, it would chew up that mag release, and who knows, it will probably not last very long. So what they did was they added this polymer sleeve, and you can see the notches in here. Now that's where the mag release is going to sit in there. It's not going to chew up that mag release. So very, very smart design. And it's, you know, over the standard Glock mag, this is a 43X Glock mag, and it's 10 rounds. This is 15 rounds, 50% extra capacity. That is a big deal. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive. These, I think I'm seeing these for about $33, and I think you can pick these up for like 20 or whatever. So they are a little more, but for me, having that 5 extra round capacity is a very big deal, especially in a small gun like this. But yeah, very nice mags. You can, now Glock mags will fit in here as well. Let's bump the camera. Glock mags fit in here just fine. They function just fine and they run just fine. I have done a bunch of shooting with this and no problems at all. And these will fit in a 43X. Glock 43X also, so very nice indeed. All right, moving up to the frame here with the grip. You got some nice texturing all the way around. I do like this. Obviously, it's the same kind of texturing on the full size and the compact size PSA Dagger. Some people might want that texturing to be more aggressive, and I understand that. I think it's not too bad. And it feels very comfortable in the hand. I do prefer, personally, the grip texture of this over the Glock 43X, which we have here. We'll go over that in a second. So I do like the texturing a little better, personally. Do have a trigger undercut right here, on the trigger guard, excuse me, undercut right here. So you can get a nice purchase on there, and you have your beaver tail coming out. It feels very comfortable in the hand because this is kind of a slimlined compared to, say, like a Glock 19, where you can see the Glock 19 is thicker. Let's put it up here like so I can get a size comparison. You can see the Glock 19 is wider, longer, and the grip is thicker, as in this grip is slimmer. It's funny because this holds the same capacity, but this is obviously a much more compact size, which for me is better for concealed carry for me personally. So the overall width of this is very, very nice. Anyway, moving up, you have your mag release with some texturing on here, kind of your serrations. You have a trigger guard, and you have your trigger. This is a hinge trigger. It's got about a 5-pound pull when I did it on my Wheeler trigger scale. It's got a very defined wall. Like, it's a very, very defined wall. It does not roll through. That is it. You get your take up, very defined wall, and then your brake, and then your reset, a little bit let out, tactile, audible. Not a bad trigger. It feels, honestly, it feels almost identical to the Glock trigger, 43X trigger in my opinion. So it's not too bad. It is a hinge trigger. Some people have said online that they've had trouble with that breaking. I've gone through about 300 rounds with this. I've had no problems whatsoever. Things to keep in mind, PSA will fix it. If it does break, they do have a lifetime warranty on their guns, but this will also take Glock parts. So if you want to put a Glock 43X trigger in here, you can do that if you wish. But again, I've had no problems with that hinge trigger myself, so nothing to report there. Moving on up, you got your slide stop right here. It is extremely flush. You can see how close that sits. It's extremely flush. But in saying that, I've had no problems manipulating it. It's worked just fine, because normally what I'll do is sometimes I'll put the kind of the extended mag releases on here, like from Vickers Tactical or something, but I've had no issues with that at all, so I'm happy with it for the moment. Moving along, you have these kind of like textured panels on either side. So actually when I'm gripping the gun, my index finger's up here, it sits on that little pad right there. So then you have your rail right here. You're going to need something like a TLR7 sub from Streamlight, something compact to fit on here, because it's very, very small, very narrow, so it's not going to fit a full-size light on there. Moving on up to the frame. You notice we've got obviously front and back serrations. They are pretty aggressive, easy to grip. Again, no problems whatsoever gripping that. They're not subtle, they're definitely grippy. And then you've got kind of this nice kind of cutout here, give it a little bit of a fancy look. And you've got obviously some cutouts right here as well, so it looks really good. Moving on up to the top, we have an RMSC optics cutout right here, and this also has the plate sitting on top of it. So it is the optics ready version. Very cool. Obviously, this is the reason why they haven't gone with like an RMR is because this is a narrow, slimlined slide here. So an RMR would be too big. So they've gone with obviously the micro red dot. So very cool. And then you have 3-dot white sights. Just A sights are not tritium or anything like that, although I do prefer them still over the Glock OEM sights. I really despise these things. Again, you can switch these sights out because it will take any standard Glock sights, and you can switch them out if you wish. So overall, very, very nice. A lot of features on this gun. Now to take it down, it's the same as any other Glock out there. Just like so. You got your frame, and then you have your slide. And again, you can switch. If you have a Glock 43X or if you need parts for this micro dagger, it is the 43X clone. Parts will work in this gun. So anyways, we have a captured recoil spring. You have your barrel, which is 3.41 inches in length, so just a small little barrel. And then you have your slide like so. Put that back together. All right, let's just go over the size. This is the 43X by Glock is on the left, and the micro dagger is on the right. Obviously, as you would expect, because being a clone, the dimensions are exactly the same. So holsters and things like that fit the 43X will fit the micro dagger also. Again, everything is pretty much identical. I would say that the actual dagger is just smidge longer on the grip right there, but everything else, as I said, it's identical. Now obviously this is not the MOS version, so we don't have an optics cut or your rail right here. This is just the plain Jane 43X. All right, so let's go over shooting this gun. I had no problems at all. As I said, I went through about 300 rounds of mixed ammo. I went through some Magtech, some cheap hollow points, and I went through some Fiocchi 115 grain also. About 300 rounds, probably over 300 rounds. I had no problems whatsoever. Everything ran great. I was using the 15 round mag that it comes with because I still, you know, they're great. And then I went through the Glock mag because the Glock mags, as I said, they do function 100% in the PSA Micro and vice versa. The PSA mags fit and work perfectly in the Glock 43X. They're all interchangeable, so very good. So yeah, no problems whatsoever. I would really like to, I don't have an optics cut, so I don't have an optic for this particular gun, unfortunately, so it would have been nice to run it with a red dot to see how, you know, how it done, but I don't have that, but it is what it is. All right, so my overall thoughts. It's very good. As I say, the time of posting this, they're kind of unobtainable right now. Just kind of typical PSA when they launch a new product. People think they only make a couple of them, guys. They crank out guns like nobody's business, and people want them. So that's why they have a hard time keeping them in stock. They sell them for a great price. They make good guns, and they fly off the shelves. That's why they're never in stock. However, I do think they have it. Not saying they are, but I do think they are having a slight problem getting a hold of the frames, because there is tons of slides available out there for these on PSA's website. You have the micro, then you have a micro with a compensator, so it's the same length barrel, but it's a little longer on the frame with a built-in comp, which is pretty cool. It has another version where the barrel is actually longer and the frame's actually longer. So there's and so they've got different colors, optics cuts, ones cut. There's just tons of different variety, but getting these frames seems to be just very, very difficult. So anyway, very, very cool. And this 15 round mag is an absolute game changer in my mind, because the other company that makes 15 round mags, I think they're called Shield, they're very expensive. I think they're like $60 odd. Well, these mags are coming in at $33, and you don't have to switch out your mag release. So for me, this mag is a game changer, because as I said, Glock's 10 round mag to a 15 round mag, 50% more capacity, an exact same size mag. 100% I'm taking the 5 extra rounds. And again, in such a small compact package, having 15 rounds is absolutely fantastic. So far, so good. Obviously, you know, these are just out. There's no long-term reviews on them. We can only give you kind of our initial impressions of it. But so far, again, feature rich. It's $200 cheaper. Not that this is the 43, but not obviously the MOS and the real one. So the Glock 43X MOS is over $200 more expensive than the Micro Dagger. So it's up to you what you buy, but so far, as I said, I'm impressed. I think this is going to be a hot seller for PSA for quite some time. Anyway, folks, that is it from me. If you have any questions, any comments, please ask them below. I'm happy to help however I can. And that is it. Until next time, we'll catch you later.